Sophie, let's start with Peter Dutton. He's put an ABC reporter in his place after they asked, well, I would consider a seriously silly question, a seriously ignorant question. Let's have a look.
And what evidence do you have that there is this so-called rampant child sexual abuse occurring in remote central Australia?
Well, with respect, that's such an ABC question. Do you live locally? Do you speak to people on the streets? Do you hear what it is they're saying to you?
Now, interestingly, the public broadcaster cut off that interaction when they showed their package. Let's have a look.
Do you believe...
I live locally.
You live locally. You don't believe there's any problem here?
OK, we've got to leave that there because we're going to our break. That was live from Alice Springs. Opposition Leader Peter Dutton.
Sophie, what do you make of all of that? It certainly has started quite a furore. People are demanding stats and facts and figures, and they've been forthcoming today. It surprises me that anyone who's interested in this issue would be ignorant of what Peter Dutton was talking about.
Well, Rita, what concerned me, and we addressed this in my story on the front page of The Australian today, was when the ABC cut that live press conference, when it did get in this fire exchange with the journalist from the ABC and Mr Dutton, they abruptly went to Joe O'Brien back in Sydney, and then he started talking about the cyclone off the Western Australian coast with 3 minutes till the top of the hour, and then they went to promos about ABC programs. Why is the ABC cutting content when it doesn't fit their narrative? And anything that questions issues around Indigenous Australians, something as serious as child sexual abuse, if it's not fitting the narrative of The Voice, the ABC appear to not like it. And you can see this, Rita, across their programs where they have a lack of balance. You're very hard-pressed to find someone on the ABC who gets a lot of oxygen if they're in the no camp.
Well, never mind just having guests who can articulate the no case. They have no hosts. Seem to have no producers, no staff who can actually put that message across. It is incredible that we've got this more than $1 billion going to this national broadcaster, and yet around half the country isn't represented. They cannot find a single conservative host in a prime time position, not on radio, not on television. It is beyond belief. But you know what? We had 3 coalition governments who did nothing about this, so they can get the consequences now. And what was interesting after Peter Dutton's comments were these comments from Labor MP Kate Warden. Just terrible, disgraceful commentary here.
What we've seen over the last couple of days from Peter Dutton in Central Australia is absolutely opportunistic game playing, political game playing, and using the most vulnerable people here in the heart of our nation in Central Australia as a pawn in that game. It's quite frankly a dog act.
But you expect lefties like Labor politicians and the ABC to behave in this manner. What you don't expect is a Liberal MP to carry on like Jane Carr after one too many Chardonnays by retweeting what amounts to abuse of her leader. As reported by skynews.com.au, Liberal MP Bridget Archer has retweeted an article accusing opposition leader Peter Dutton of committing a dog act. Earlier on Thursday, the member for Bass also retweeted a comment from Ian Anderson, where the University of Tasmania's Deputy Vice-Chancellor described Mr Dutton as the undertaker for the Uluru Statement of the Heart, and she added this comment, important and powerful contribution. Sophie, this sort of behaviour would never be tolerated in Labor. Archer is one of the few remaining wets in the Liberal Party, but though they're few in number, they are causing enormous damage for Peter Dutton and the party in general.
Well, Rita, she's effectively in the wrong party. Really, she should be in the Labor Party. Go through her Twitter feed and it's all pro-Guardian articles, ABC articles, obviously pro-The Voice because she's made that so public. This is damaging for the Liberal Party, and there's no consequences for it. And you're right, Labor do not do this. I mean, there's repercussions if they do. But this is a real worry. But Rita, as you said earlier in the program, the next thing that Peter Dutton really must do is appoint Jacinta Price as Indigenous Australian spokeswoman. She is a fighter. She had that very emotional interview on Credlin before your show. And she's trying to do her best for the community. This is a woman who is Indigenous herself, who has lived in Northern Territory all her life, and she would have been a far better appointment, as you said, than Julian Leeser. So the Liberal Party blow themselves up by making stupid appointments, and look at the damage that it's caused them.
It was entirely predictable what was going to happen there, and why they keep self-harming is beyond me, and why they almost make themselves unelectable by some of these decisions.